Hello, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at another USB wall outlet. This is the Leviton T5633. And you can see in the packaging here, it comes in a cardboard box. It's a 5.1 amp rated USB charger. We can see taking this product out of the box, it's got a little user manual. It's got some of the kind of typical ratings. You can see a CSA safety rating on this one, a little different. So not UL, but still safety listed, so that's good. And looking at the manual, nothing too crazy here. Typical things you see with these is it has the, wiring diagram, tells you how to wire the neutral, the hotline, shows the different types of outlets, the USB-A, USB-C. So typical on these outlets is they don't tell you which outlet can give you which amount of current. And in this case, it's a little different between the two outlets. So you can see the USB-C on the front here, and you can see the USB-A port. The A port can provide 2.8 amps, and the C port can provide 3 amps. We can see looking inside of this device that it definitely has some more components packed into the back of it. You can see some inductors and capacitors and things in there. On a scale, the outlet weighs 134 grams. The packaging for this one weighs a total of 16 grams, including the user manual. Same deal as the previous videos, we're going to hook it up with our ferrule covered wires here and put it in the same metal box. Alright, let's get it plugged in and take a look at some of our specifications. So here we have the idle power consumptions, about 0.1 watts. Not great, but it's not the worst performer. The Ella group, which was a little bit higher than this. So plug it in. Right away we can see the 5 volts. That's all this one does. This does not have any other modes. So this is just a 5 volt output all the time. Starting to right up with 15 watts. See, it's working just fine. See what happens if we turn it up a little. And it's already off. So we can see that the limit on this port is already at that 15 watt condition. To power the other port, I'm going to have to use that other load tester. And technically should be able to pull about 10 watts on this before hitting an overcurrent protection, which would be the total overcurrent protection for the system. It'll be interesting to see if it trips out on both this one or if it just one side trips out. So there it is at full load. Now it's actually going beyond a little bit. Oh, and we can see the USB-C port has actually tripped out. So the USB-A port ends up taking over, basically, and the USB-C port tripped out. And we can also see that USB-A port trips out at about 2.8 amps. So it's kind of weird ways dividing between the two ports. So it really only supports 25 watts total, but it kind of has some strange current sharing between the two ports. So if you have a device that can pull 3 amps off of each port, it may end up in a weird kind of back and forth battle where one's tripping and then the other one's not. All right, taking a look at the data on the graph, we can see the Leviton, for the idle power consumptions, it's got a decent amount of idle power consumption. It's not the highest, but it's certainly not the lowest. The power quality is, again, a little bit on the higher side because it does have that extra filtering in there. In terms of its overall performance, you can see it kind of falls on the lower end for these 25 watt adapters. So, in terms of its overall power quality, when it's under load, it's not the best. In terms of its overall ratings, you can see that the efficiency kind of peaks out around 25%, and then it actually dips for a little while, and then back at 100%, it comes back a little bit. It's kind of a strange performer a little bit. You can see that the THD kind of peaks up and then goes back down. So when it's idling, it's actually not that bad, but then it kind of has a weird kind of shape to its curve where that 25% load seems to be an ideal condition, which is about 5 watts of output. When we look at the tabular data, you can see that it's, kind of riding towards the higher end. So an 80 is not a terrible number for the overall score, and then the idle score is actually on the higher side. So in summary, this device is not too bad. You can see it works. It does use a little bit of idle power. It has some noise, especially when it's under the medium and heavier load conditions. So it's not, not the quietest device. It's not the most efficient device, but overall it's adequate. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, click the buttons. You want to. The best way to help out creators like me is to share our content with others. Join me for another video in the near future. I don't know how many more of these there's going to be, but a lot. Thanks again, and bye.